Get up. You've been sleeping on dreams that are waiting for your discipline. You've been snoozing on purpose like it's gonna wait for you. No, baby, purpose don't wait. Destiny don't delay. You've got to rise to reach it. When you wake up early in the morning, you are planting a seed that will grow and determine the entire fruitfulness of your day. This is not just some catchy phrase. It's a spiritual truth wrapped in practical wisdom. The very first moments after you open your eyes set the tone for everything that follows. If you begin your day with intention, clarity, and purpose, the rest of your hours will follow that pattern. But if you wake up late, rushed, and distracted, you're already planting seeds of chaos, stress, and missed opportunities. Think about farming. The farmer doesn't just toss seeds into the dirt and hope for a miracle. No, he carefully prepares the soil, chooses the right seeds, waters them at the right time, and protects the crops from weeds and pests. The early morning is like the fertile ground of your day. When you rise early, you give yourself the opportunity to prepare, to focus, to water your dreams with prayer, meditation, or study. You set a foundation of calm and control. Let me be clear, the first hours of the day are sacred. This is when the world is still quiet, when the noise hasn't started, and when your mind hasn't been bombarded by 1,000 distractions. In those moments, you have the unique chance to choose how your day will unfold. You can choose peace over panic, purpose over procrastination, discipline over distraction. This is why so many successful people have the habit of waking up early. They understand that the battle for productivity is won in those first moments before the rest of the world is even awake. When you rise before sunrise, you gain the advantage of time. Time to think, to plan, and to connect with your inner spirit or higher power. You are not rushing to catch up. You are setting the pace. The morning is a blank page in the book of your life. What story will you write today? If you wake up early, you start writing with intention. You outline your goals. You organize your tasks. You prepare your heart and mind. You give yourself a chance to step into the day with confidence and calm, rather than stress and scatter. But if you sleep late, hit snooze repeatedly, and rush out of bed without a plan, you are sowing confusion and disorder. You start your day chasing time instead of controlling it. And when you are behind from the start, it's hard to catch up. The stress of trying to make up for lost time drains your energy and steals your focus. Your productivity diminishes, your attitude sours, and your opportunities shrink. Waking up early is more than just getting out of bed. It is a spiritual discipline. It is an act of stewardship over your time and your life. It's telling yourself, I am worth the effort to rise before the world. I am serious about what God or the universe has called me to do. It's a declaration that your dreams are more important than your comfort. And here's a secret. The early morning also gives you access to your best self. When you wake up late or rush through your morning, you miss the chance to connect with your creativity, your wisdom, and your energy. You miss the moments when your mind is most fresh and alert. The morning is the prime time for setting priorities, making decisions, and tackling your most important tasks. There is a biblical wisdom to this. The psalmist said, "In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice." This teaches us that the early hours are not just practical. They are sacred. It is when we are closest to God, when our hearts are open and receptive, and when we can receive divine guidance. If you want to succeed, if you want clarity, if you want peace, you need to rise early and listen. Moreover, the discipline of waking up early builds character. It trains your willpower. It builds momentum. When you show up for yourself before the world demands your attention, you gain confidence and self-respect. You prove to yourself that you are capable of commitment, focus, and perseverance. And don't be fooled into thinking this is easy. The enemy will tempt you to stay in bed. Your flesh will cry for comfort. The warm blankets will whisper sweet lies of just 5 more minutes. But the moment you overcome that first battle and rise, you win the war for your day. You reclaim your authority over time and circumstances. So every morning you have a choice. You can either plant the seed of success or the seed of struggle. You can start your day with purpose or with panic. You can move forward or stay stuck. You can prepare for victory or surrender to delay. When you wake up early, you are planting a seed in fertile soil, and that seed, watered with faith and action, will grow into a day full of breakthroughs, productivity, peace, and progress. Remember, greatness is not an accident. It is cultivated, and the first step in that cultivation is the simple but powerful act of waking up early. So get up, get moving, plant your seed, and watch what God will grow in your life. Discipline is the foundation on which destiny is built. You cannot expect to arrive at your destiny without first mastering the discipline it takes to get there. It's not enough to have a dream, a vision, or even a calling if you refuse to do the hard work that precedes the breakthrough. Destiny is not a magic event that falls into your lap. It is the result of consistent, focused effort over time, and that effort is rooted in discipline. Discipline is what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who live them. It's the difference between wishing and working, between hope and hustle. You see, your destiny is calling you, but it demands that you show up ready, willing, and able to do the work, and that means mastering yourself first. It means saying no to distractions, no to procrastination, no to comfort that keeps you from growing. Discipline is the training ground where your willpower is strengthened, your focus sharpened, and your character forged. The path to destiny is often long and difficult. It requires sacrifice, patience, and endurance. Discipline is what keeps you on track when the initial excitement fades and the road gets tough. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, but true discipline shines when the struggle is real, when setbacks hit, and when your energy is low. That's when discipline keeps you moving forward, one step at a time, even when you don't feel like it. Many people want the results, but not the process. They want success, but not the sacrifice. But destiny is not a destination for the lazy or the distracted. It belongs to those who are willing to do what others won't do, who will rise before the sun and keep going after everyone else has quit. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. This discipline applies to every area of your life. Your mind, your body, your spirit, your time. You must discipline your mind to focus on your purpose, not on fear or doubt. You must discipline your body to be healthy and strong enough to carry out your vision. You must discipline your spirit to remain connected to God or your higher source, drawing strength and guidance. And you must discipline your time to use every hour wisely, guarding it against waste and distraction. The Bible teaches us that the race is not always to the swift, but to those who endure. Endurance is born from discipline. The Apostle Paul said, "I discipline my body and keep it under control." He knew that without discipline, his calling would go unfulfilled. And if Paul, a man chosen by God, needed discipline, then you and I surely need it too. Discipline before destiny means getting up when you don't want to, doing what's hard when it's easier to quit, and staying committed when no one else is watching. It's about training yourself to say yes to the long game, knowing that every small step builds momentum toward your future. Your destiny is not going to come to you wrapped in a bow. It's going to come through your disciplined efforts, your sacrifice, and your refusal to give up. It's important to understand that discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. It's the process that readies you for the greatness that lies ahead. When you embrace discipline, you are preparing your mind, your character, and your life to handle the blessings and responsibilities that come with destiny. Without discipline, even the greatest opportunities can slip through your fingers because you're not ready to receive them. And discipline also teaches you humility. It reminds you that you are not entitled to your dreams without effort. It keeps you grounded and focused on what truly matters. When you discipline yourself, you build resilience against distractions and temptations that would pull you off course. You develop a mindset that is laser, focused on growth, progress, and purpose. Some of the most powerful moments in your life will come when you push through the resistance of your own flesh. When you say no to comfort and yes to discipline, you are choosing growth over stagnation, victory over defeat, and destiny over delay. This is where transformation happens. Remember, discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The more you practice self-control, the easier it is to stay on course. But if you neglect discipline, if you give in to laziness or distraction, your destiny will be delayed or even denied. It's also important to realize that discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't have to be flawless, you just have to be faithful to the process. Every day you choose discipline, you take one step closer to your destiny. Even when you stumble, get back up. Even when you fail, keep going. Destiny favors those who refuse to quit. So I challenge you today. Are you willing to discipline yourself for your destiny? Are you willing to do the hard work, day in and day out, to prepare yourself for the calling on your life? Are you ready to say no to distractions, no to excuses, and yes to discipline? Because the truth is, your destiny is waiting on the other side of your discipline. It's waiting for you to prove that you are serious, that you are ready, and that you can be trusted with the gift God has placed inside of you. Rise up with discipline and watch your destiny unfold. There is something sacred about the stillness of the early morning. When the world is quiet, when the noise of the day hasn't yet begun, you are given a priceless gift. The gift of clarity. It is in that silence, in those moments before the rush and roar of life take over, that your mind can clear, your spirit can speak, and your heart can hear the direction it has been longing for. The stillness of the morning is not an empty space. It is a powerful presence, a divine pause that offers wisdom, peace, and focus. So many people miss this moment because they are caught up in the busyness of life. They wake up late, rush through their mornings, and jump right into the chaos without ever stopping to listen. But clarity does not come from noise. Clarity comes from quiet. It comes when you slow down, when you separate yourself from distractions, and when you open yourself to the voice inside that knows the way. When you rise early, you create space for your spirit to connect with your purpose. You step away from the distractions of technology, responsibilities, and people's demands. In those quiet moments, you can ask yourself the hard questions. What is my mission today? What does God want me to do? Where am I headed? And because there is stillness, you can hear the answers. You can receive the guidance you need before the day pulls you in 100 different directions. The Bible speaks often about the importance of early morning prayer and meditation. King David said, "In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice." Jesus himself rose early in the morning to pray. This teaches us that the early morning is a sacred time for spiritual clarity, a time when God's voice is loudest and our hearts are most open. When you rise early, you tap into this divine rhythm, aligning yourself with a higher purpose before the distractions come. But this clarity is not just spiritual, it is practical. The stillness of the morning sharpens your mind. It allows you to think without interruption, plan without pressure, and prioritize without confusion. In those moments, you can see the big picture and the details clearly. You can focus on what matters most rather than what seems urgent or distracting. Think about your day as a journey. Without clarity, you are like a traveler without a map, lost, confused, and vulnerable to detours. But when you start your day in stillness, you chart your course with intention. You identify your goals, set your priorities, and prepare your heart for the challenges ahead. The stillness of the morning is the voice of clarity that guides your steps. Many people complain about feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck. Often, that's because they never allowed themselves the gift of clarity in the morning. They began their day reacting to crisis, multitasking through confusion, and moving without purpose. But clarity is the antidote to chaos. It is the anchor in the storm, the light in the darkness. When you make it a habit to wake up early and embrace the stillness, you develop a spiritual and mental discipline that will carry you through every challenge. You build resilience because you are grounded in peace and purpose. You avoid burnout because you start with rest and reflection, not rush and reaction. It is important to understand that clarity does not always come immediately. Sometimes the mind is cluttered with worries and fears, but the stillness of the morning invites you to breathe deeply, to quiet the noise inside, and to patiently listen. Clarity comes gradually, like the dawn breaking through the night. This stillness also nurtures creativity. Many great ideas, solutions, and inspirations come in moments of quiet reflection. When your mind is free from distractions, it can connect dots, see patterns, and innovate. The early morning stillness opens the door for your creative spirit to flourish. I want you to know that clarity is not a luxury, it is a necessity. You cannot make wise decisions, live with purpose, or fulfill your calling without it. Clarity empowers you to say no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what moves you forward. It helps you distinguish between opportunities and distractions, between what is urgent and what is important. If you want to succeed, if you want to live a life marked by intention rather than reaction, you must learn to embrace the stillness of the morning. You must train yourself to rise early and seek clarity before the day begins. This is not a habit for the faint of heart. It requires commitment, discipline, and faith, but it is a habit that will transform your life. The stillness of the morning reminds you that peace and power coexist. You don't have to rush to gain control. You gain control by first finding peace. You don't have to be busy to be productive. You are productive when you are clear. When you start your day in stillness, you set a tone of calm confidence that carries through every hour. So today, decide to honor the early morning, make it your sanctuary, make it your strategic advantage. Use it to listen to your spirit, organize your thoughts, and prepare your heart. When the world awakens and noise returns, you will have clarity on your side. You will have a clear vision, a steady mind, and a calm spirit. Remember, the stillness of the morning is the voice of clarity calling you to greatness. Will you answer? Greatness does not hit the snooze button. It doesn't wait for the world to catch up. Greatness wakes up before the sun rises. It stirs in the silence before the noise. It moves in the stillness before the chaos. And it shows up while others are still sleeping. This is not just a metaphor. It is a principle rooted in the lives of every successful person who has ever achieved something remarkable. They understood one simple truth. If you want to be great, you must be willing to get up earlier, push harder, and prepare longer than the rest. When you rise early, you step into a world of possibilities. While the majority are still dreaming, you are already awake, working, planning, praying, and positioning yourself for breakthrough. This is where champions are made, not in the ease of the day, but in the discipline of the early morning. It is the extra hour, the quiet moment, the first step before the world is ready. That is where your greatness begins to take shape. Look at the lives of great leaders, entrepreneurs, artists, and thinkers. Many of them are known for their early rising habits. They understand that time is the most valuable currency you have. They protect their mornings fiercely because they know what happens in those early hours defines the trajectory of their entire day. They don't wait for motivation to come knocking. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They take control by waking up early and making things happen. Greatness is about seizing opportunity before it arrives. It's about creating your own momentum. When you wake up before the world, you are telling yourself that you are serious. You are not here to be average or ordinary. You are here to be a leader, a difference maker, a trailblazer. Waking up early is a commitment to your dreams, a declaration that you will outwork, outthink, and outlast anyone who doubts you. It's easy to confuse waking up early with just being busy, but greatness knows the difference. It's not about filling your time with noise or meaningless tasks. It's about intentional preparation. It's about using those quiet hours to focus on what matters most, setting goals, prioritizing your day, strengthening your mind and body, and connecting with your spirit. This intentionality is what separates the great from the good. The world moves fast and distractions are everywhere. If you wait until the day is fully underway, you're already behind. The distractions will pull you in every direction. The demands of others will consume your energy, but when you wake up early, you claim the first victory of the daytime. Time to think, to reflect, to create. Time to do what others aren't willing to do. Greatness requires sacrifice. It means saying no to the comfort of your bed and yes to the discomfort of growth. It means pushing past the temptation to rest a little longer and choosing progress instead. The battle is often won in those quiet moments when your body wants to sleep, but your spirit knows better. When you win that battle, you build the resilience and discipline that greatness demands. Think about it. What sets the great apart is not always talent or opportunity, but consistency. The person who gets up every morning with a plan, who shows up for themselves even when no one is watching, is the person who ultimately wins. Greatness is not a one-time event. It is the result of daily decisions to rise and grind. Remember, the early morning is a sacred appointment with your future. When you wake up early, you are investing in your dreams, your purpose, and your legacy. You are creating space to move from where you are to where you want to be. You are laying the foundation for success with every quiet hour before the world stirs. Waking up early also aligns you with the natural rhythms of success. Many spiritual traditions point to the early morning as a time of divine favor, clarity, and power. When you rise early, you position yourself to receive those blessings. You start your day in alignment with purpose, focus, and faith. This alignment fuels your efforts and multiplies your results. You might be thinking, but I'm not a morning person. Let me tell you, greatness is not about being born a certain way. It's about training yourself to become who you need to be. If you want to live a life that matters, you must train your mind, body, and spirit to show up early and ready. It might be hard at first, but like any muscle, it gets stronger with practice. So what are you waiting for? The world is waking up, but the winners have already been up for hours, planting seeds of success. Greatness is calling you to rise. It's inviting you to join the ranks of those who don't just dream but do. Those who don't just talk but act. Those who don't wait for opportunity but create it. Wake up before the world does. Claim your time. Claim your purpose, claim your greatness, because the sun doesn't shine only for the sleeping. It shines for those who get up and chase their destiny. Rise and shine, because greatness waits for no one. Success is not a distant dream reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It starts with the first step you take, right now, in this moment. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions to begin. But the truth is, the journey to success begins with a single, sometimes small and uncertain, step forward. That first step is the door to your future, the spark that ignites the fire of your dreams, and the foundation upon which your success is built. Too often, we hesitate because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what others might think. But the first step is the bravest thing you will ever do. It's the moment you choose to believe in yourself, to trust in your purpose, and to step out of your comfort zone. Without this step, your dreams remain just dreams. They never transform into reality. Success demands movement, action, and courage. It demands that you show up even when you feel unready or uncertain. The first step breaks the spell of inertia. It disrupts the cycle of procrastination and doubt. When you move forward, you create momentum, and momentum, once started, has the power to carry you beyond your fears and limitations. It opens doors you never knew existed. It reveals opportunities that were hidden behind hesitation and indecision. The first step is the most powerful because it sets everything else in motion. You may not see the whole staircase, but you can take the first step in faith. You don't have to have all the answers or know exactly where the road will lead. Success is not about perfection or certainty, it is about persistence and progress. Every great accomplishment began with someone willing to take that initial leap, not knowing the outcome but trusting the process. Think about the stories of those who have achieved greatness. They were not born successful, they became successful by starting. They took risks, made mistakes, and learned as they went. They didn't wait for the stars to align or for conditions to be perfect. They stepped forward, sometimes blindly, but always with determination. That first step was the gateway to their destiny. The early morning is the perfect metaphor for the first step. When you wake up early, you are taking a step ahead of the world. You are moving before others have begun. You are setting yourself apart. That act of rising early is itself a first step, an act of commitment to your goals and your future. It is a daily reminder that success is built one step at a time. But taking the first step also requires faith. Faith that you are capable, faith that your efforts will bear fruit, and faith that God or the universe is working on your behalf. When you step out in faith, you activate divine favor and open the door for miracles and breakthroughs. The first step is a spiritual act as much as it is a physical one. It aligns your heart and your will with your purpose. It is important to remember that success is a process, not an event. The first step is just the beginning of a journey filled with ups and downs, victories and setbacks. But each step you take builds your strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. Every move forward, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate it. Honor it. Let it fuel your next step. Many people get stuck waiting for motivation to strike or inspiration to hit. But motivation often follows action, not the other way around. When you take that first step, you create energy. You awaken a force inside you that pushes you forward. The key is to start, to move, to do something, even if it's imperfect or incomplete. That is how success is born. You must also understand that taking the first step requires commitment. It is not a one-time event but a daily decision. Every morning when you wake up early, when you choose to act instead of wait, you are reaffirming your commitment to your success. You are telling yourself and the world that you are serious about your dreams and willing to do the work. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to live the destiny God has for you, you have to start. And the best time to start is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Now, the first step is always available to you. It is the key that unlocks the door to your future, so don't wait any longer. Don't allow fear or doubt to paralyze you. Take the first step. It may be small, it may be uncertain, but it will move you forward. It will put you on the path to success, and with each step after that, you will build momentum, confidence, and clarity. Success is waiting for you on the other side of your first step. Step into it, step up, step out, because your future begins the moment you decide to move. Now listen, my friend, everything we've talked about today comes down to one simple truth. Your destiny is waiting on the other side of your discipline, your clarity, your commitment, and your courage to take that first step. Waking up early is not just about the time on the clock, it's about seizing the moment God has given you to rise above the ordinary and walk into greatness. When you discipline yourself to wake before the world stirs, you prepare your mind, body, and spirit to receive divine direction and unstoppable momentum. In the stillness of the morning, clarity speaks, and that clarity will guide your steps and sharpen your vision. Greatness doesn't wait. It wakes up early, it moves early, and it conquers the day before anyone else even begins. So I challenge you today, don't sleep through your destiny. Don't hit snooze on your dreams. The world needs what God has put inside of you, and the best way to deliver it is by waking early, rising with purpose, and stepping boldly into your calling. Success starts with the very first step you take out of that bed, so make it count. Make it intentional, make it powerful. Your future is not something that just happens. It's something you create. And it begins every morning you choose to wake up early, ready to claim the day, ready to pursue your purpose, ready to live the life God designed for you. So rise up, wake up early, and watch how your life transforms when you decide that greatness will not wait another minute. Because when you do, you're not just waking up, you're waking into your destiny.
Amen.